5 years ago, this was all a dream. But on June 28th, 2018, we stood in this spot and broke ground on what would become Louisville's soccer cathedral. It always started with the supporters, and the supporters were there from the very beginning. And as our team proved itself on the field time and again, the support grew. As the support grew and the performance on the pitch turned in championship after championship, it was evident that this was something that was going to be sustainable for a long time. To think that 5 years ago we didn't have a club, and today we have a men's professional team, we have a women's professional team coming next year, we have an academy, we have this beautiful building, we have 5 trophies in the trophy cabinet. It's a phenomenal story, and it all starts with great support, phenomenal ownership, great performance on the field, and a front office that works hard to make it happen. We literally would not be in this position without the support of our local metro government, the mayor, Jeff Mosley, Laura Ferguson, Barbara Sexton Smith, all the members of Metro Council. We thank you. Right now at this moment, we were supposed to be here at Lynn Family Stadium, opening this beautiful venue for the first time. Circumstances beyond our control have forced us to delay that, but that's okay. We will be here soon.
And we'll be ready to announce that we're bringing the best USL franchise in the last 5 years to Louisville, Kentucky.
I found out about soccer coming to Louisville through a Facebook ad for tickets.
Well, I found out the club was coming to Louisville from a good friend of mine, Kevin Perkins. He grew up playing soccer and had been a soccer fan his whole life. And, he found out about the team was coming and said, hey, it'd be fun. Let's go get tickets. And I'm glad I did. And I can say I'm a founding member.
So the first time I heard about it was on the radio. I heard an advertisement that there was going to be a match at Slugger Field, a soccer match of all things.
Well, we first found out about the soccer team coming to Louisville about, I guess it was the end of 2014 or so. And we had just finished watching the World Cup, and we got pretty enthused and saying, hey, that's a sport we could both get into and really like.
I vividly remember having a conversation with one of my coworkers who was also a huge soccer fan, and I remember him saying, hey, Louisville's getting a professional soccer team. At first I didn't believe him, and went home and Googled it that night, and sure enough.
I know that my son was playing soccer for the Y, and some of the team came and were signing autographs, and that was when we were like, hey, we should really go to a game.
My first reaction when I found out was I was surprised but happy because I love soccer.
My first reaction was this will be fun for him because he played soccer and it would give him a chance to see pros locally.
Me and the founders of the Coopers and some early members of the board got together with Wayne Estoppel back in October of 2013 when the idea really started getting some legs underneath it.
LouCity is now an epicenter of happiness for quite a lot of people in the Louisville area now, because people now have a championship side right here in Louisville.
I never expected Louisville to be a soccer town because everybody's focused on basketball and football.
So I never really thought about it until Louisville City became a thing, I guess. I don't know.
When you think, or when people think of Louisville and sports in general, of course the first things they'll probably think of are basketball or horse racing. But I think there's always been an underground, grassroots, big soccer following, and it just needed a professional team to bring it to the forefront.
The culture was always here. It just needed something to latch onto, and I think that's something that Louisville City has provided, and that's why it's exploded into all these other things, whether it be the U23 team or the academy or the U17s and NWSL, which I'm super excited about and can't wait for that to get here.
Would you have thought Louisville would become a soccer town? I mean, look at it. The last 5 years, yes, definitely.
I had no idea that Louisville was such a soccer hotbed. I didn't know that there were so many soccer happenings in Louisville. I didn't realize what a soccer town would become.
Am I surprised that Louisville is a soccer town? No, not at all. It may have happened faster than a lot of people were thinking, but I'm not surprised.
That really hooked me, seeing the passion that the St. Lugans had, and here we are, we're starting out, and especially after Magnus scored that goal and we erupted the crowd, and it seemed like it got better and better.
We win the game. We beat our would-be rival St. Louis 2-0. And it was great. It was such a pretty day. It was cold, I remember that, but it was a beautiful day. I had my oldest son with me, and it was, everything kind of came together the way I hoped it would.
But I think since the early days, we've made great strides, and I think we've become, in our own right, one of the mainstays of the city, which is fantastic for us to be able to go on and achieve.
I really had no idea what to expect going in. I'm from San Francisco, and I'd played soccer in LA and Chicago, and I always thought of Louisville as a baseball town.
From the get-go, Louisville City always pride themselves on building a culture.
It's something that's spoken about quite a bit. We talk about it a lot, and it's hard to kind of replicate.
I think the first season set the tone and was something that the club has been able to build on.
You can just feel the vibe, the players, the coaching staff, even the front office and ownership group. Everyone wanted to build a culture throughout the entire club.
Being a part of the club for the first year was a big experience for me because the team was brand new and I had never been a part of a new organization like that. So being on a team where everyone was new and everyone just wanted this team to have success was massive.
The locker room culture was definitely intentional.
The mentality, the hard work that everyone puts on and off the field, the family vibe.
We were committed to James O'Connor's passing brand of soccer, and we don't back down style, and we maintained that throughout the year.
It was very obvious that everyone wanted to play a part of the team.
We always pushed to be champions, and as you can see, we were able to go back to back in the next following years.
Did I think it would happen in 5 years? Probably not.
I think whatever you're asking about Louisville City, I'm not going to doubt. I think that club has been able to achieve all the goals that they put out for themselves.
But now it's here and I can't wait to get going.
You tell me anything about them, I'm going to believe it.
It's a magnificent future for the city, for the club, for the fans. It's really, really the culmination of a lot of hard work by a lot of people behind the scenes.
They still support me in my career and whatever team I'm on, so it's really a family there, and I appreciate everything those fans have done for the club and myself.
We often say that we have the best fans in the league, and I believe that's true. We have a core group of fans that has been there from day one.
And moving forward to the next couple seasons, I knew that Louisville City built something special, and that it was going to be setting the soccer standard for the rest of the USL.
I think Louisville is becoming a soccer town for sure.
To see us kind of with the success we've had, kind of get more and more people talking about soccer. It just shows the tremendous growth that the team has had in such a short amount of time. It's really unprecedented, I would say.
This will pass, and we'll all have many, many years of being involved in a world-class stadium in downtown, which gives immense pride, not just to the ownership, the players, to the coaching staff, but for everybody. So it's something we're all really excited about.
You might recall we said a few months ago, whatever your lot in life, build something on it. Well, we've completed step one now. We've identified our lot. And hopefully over the next few years, you're going to see us build something on it.
We as owners decided that we would have to take this on our own shoulders, obviously with the help of the city, and we got significant help from the city, and with the help of the state, with the TIF we were able to get.
Our ownership group, our front office, James O'Connor and his staff at the time, the city council, the mayor's office, all of these people coming together to work on this project.
I'm extraordinarily proud of the partnership that came together to get this stadium built. There were so many reasons for it to happen.
The process itself is an animal of its own, and you just have to let it unfold. But if you do so, you're going to be rewarded with a great, I think, the best soccer stadium in America.
Because this was a tricky issue to pull off legally, from land acquisition to the proper structure of the deal with the state and the club. So just great teamwork is what made this happen.
It was a challenge, but we were able to put together the ground, and then we were able to put together the financing of the ground and to start the process of the stadium.
And it was pretty clear to me in the beginning that if we were going to really grow a soccer team and become a soccer city, we had to have a jewel of a stadium, and we had to have our own lot and our own birthright coming up out of the ground.
Just a wonderful job between the owners of Louisville City, our private contractors, and the city of Louisville.
It's really important that Louisville City has a home to call their own. And right now, Louisville City has a state-of-the-art, brand new stadium that is the envy of the whole nation at this time.
It just sends a message to the world that we intend on being the best. Come to our city, experience that. So that's why it's important to have our own dedicated stadium.
The process was long and tedious, but it's all going to be worth it in the end.
For any football club around the world, having your own building, and specifically your own field to play on, is huge.
Because a professional soccer team always need a home to call their own. It is going to bring an awful lot of people from outside the city into Louisville to see this brand new stadium.
But we will be there soon. You'll see how good this is going to be for all of us. The final product is outstanding.
And now to have, in my humble opinion, the best soccer-specific stadium in the USL Championship is amazing.
We've got the place to play, we've got the teams, we've got the product, we've got the coaches, we've got the staff, we've got the backing of the city and the state, and the backing of our investment group. So we're off and running.
The Lynn Family Stadium to me is a dream come true.
It's easy. Just look around. This building, this field, this facility, it's absolutely beautiful, down to the finest detail. This is an amazing building. I truly think it will be a cathedral for soccer in Louisville for many years to come.
It would be hard to argue that this isn't one of the great stories in American soccer.
But bottom line, for me, it's about winning. You know, you've got to prove that you're a winner. And I think Louisville City has proven that both on and off the field. I look forward to the women's team starting to play. I think they will do the same thing. I expect, and we won't settle for anything less than the same kind of success we've had with the men.
Winning that first title was probably, one of the best moments of my life.
A lot of blood, sweat, and tears, kind of.
To be the captain of the team, I felt a lot of pressure to get past that hump, and we did. We get to the finals and beat Swope 1-0 on a late goal, and I mean it was definitely the pinnacle of my soccer career at that point.
One of the cameras came up to me and had an interview, and I said that I hope this night lasts forever, and I really meant that because it was really special, and I think it really set the standard for what Louisville City really wanted was to win championships.
On that night, we were fortunate enough and we came out on top. And what made it even more special was it was in front of our fans.
All those memories of training sessions, preseason, sacrifices, everything that goes with an entire season goes through your head, and to lift a trophy at the end to signify that you are the best team in the USL for that year was something that I'll never forget.
I think what's so special about that championship team was, if you look at the team today, there's still that core that's still there. I think Louisville City has been able to, keep a lot of the same personnel.
It allowed us really to create I suppose, a fantastic culture. It gave us the bedrock to be able to go on and create a value system and culture that really stuck, I'd say, true with all the players and myself throughout my time as coach. So it was a fantastic experience.
We had winners in the lineup. No matter where you looked, there was quality all over the pitch. And just that grit to never give in and always push on no matter what. And it's still there to this day. So just that never say die, do anything to win type players.
Well, that was a team that worked so hard. Again, I think that's what it comes back to is it was a lot of the same guys from the year before even, and we just worked and worked and worked and were rewarded for it. And a great group of guys. I don't think there were anybody that didn't fit perfectly in that locker room.
You have people that are pushing each other every single day in training, but they're still so humble to look at themselves first, making sure they're doing everything they possibly can.
They set, a high standard for everything that the club does, and like I said, it goes back to culture, and that's just the culture of the team. Putting a brilliant product on the field, and just making sure that we keep that standard that Louisville City has had from the beginning.
I think just having that kind of mentality to always want to win, no matter what's against you. You look at the Eastern Conference Final last year, we were never out of it, so just that will to win, I think, is what makes us that good.
The second one was incredible just because of how turbulent the season was. We went from losing a coach, well, even before that we were starting to make a decent Open Cup run, and then we lose our coach.
And that took a big toll on them because, they are players first, which they have to focus all their energy for being a player. But then they had to focus on being a coach and how to win games and studying film and all this stuff.
I think that's when you really saw the strength of the locker room and the talent of the players, because it's very, very difficult to get through that time without imploding. And we were nowhere near imploding. In fact, we had quite a successful run in the stretch where the players were coaching.
John Hackworth got appointed head coach, and he came in and stood from the sidelines for a bit and just kind of watched how things were moving, how the pieces were moving here, and how the culture was. And after a while of being an observer, you could say, he really helped us improve in a lot of areas that needed improvement.
I think first and foremost, I recognized that this was a really good team. Obviously, they had just won the 2017 USL Championship. But more so than that, I thought they had quality players. I liked the way they played. I felt like I could come here and help them reach their ultimate goals.
There's a lot of factors that go into it. I don't think you can pinpoint this is the reason, because if you could, then everyone would be doing it. But for us, I think our expectations are to be successful. When you have the expectation to be successful, then you have no way. There's no excuses and there's no plan B. You just have to keep fighting and keep winning.
Remarkably, they had been coaching themselves. So coming into that locker room, I guess first and foremost, I would tell you, I had recognized that it was a strong group, that there were going to be strong personalities in that room.
The attitudes of the players and the hard work that they put in, and on top of that, I think that what gets overlooked when we talk about LouCity is the talent and execution. I think that we have really good players. I think you can't win a championship without having some of the best players in the league, and we have that.
The second time to defend it, you have that kind of target on your back, so to have that mark on your back and still be able to churn out results and go on and win it a second time, it shows the class and the togetherness of the group, I would say.
I want to thank all the players from both championship teams for blessing me with 2 rings.
It gives me great pleasure to formally announce that in the spring of 2021, The National Women's Soccer League comes to Louisville, Kentucky. We've been working for 5 years to build a soccer club, and today we take the next step in that process as we announce our academy programs.
Our academy program is going to be so important to the future of this club. First and foremost, it's young boys and girls learning to love this sport.
The academy obviously is something now we're very excited about. I think it's going to play an important role in the community. I think when you look at the talent that's in the community with the U17 team that performed so well.
The new youth academy will greatly impact the soccer community in Kentucky.
Well, I think it should be a major but positive change for not only the city of Louisville, but also for the state of Kentucky as well.
Well, basically, you know, we want to create a pathway for these kids here locally.
I feel like our style of playing will separate us from other academies across America.
I would say fortunate to have the coaching staff that we have, but I think it brings tremendous excitement when we look at the quality of the coaching staff. We spent the last couple of months defining our culture for the academy, defining the vision.
Well, I would love to see them win as many games and as many tournaments as they can. I would love to see them carry on the culture and hopefully to see some homegrown contracts.
I think it's super important to have a structure in place here locally that gives the families and kids, you know, again, the opportunity to stay here in town.
In the future years, I see us being one of the top academies in the country.
The academy is all about, you know, a pathway, and that pathway might be to college soccer, that pathway, you know, could be to the pro teams.
The past 5 years have been a dream for us, but the future is going to be great as well. We can't wait to welcome the National Women's Soccer League in 2021, and also our academy that we will be launching this summer.
We were just impressed with the enthusiasm, the Coopers, the Swope, Scouse's house. We learned, you know, we just were blown away at how good the players were and just how much energy was in the stadium.
We watched them on TV, but we had never been to a live one until Louisville City, and we were hooked immediately.
It definitely hooked me for life.
I was in love, instantly hooked.
If this is where we are now, we'll be in 5 more years. That's what I want.
2 USL championships, 3 Eastern Conference championships, 2 Eastern Conference runners-up in 5 years. That doesn't happen, except for us. And, you know, it's incredible and indescribable.
One of the things that stood out to me is the engagement of all of the supporters and getting input from everybody. And Louisville City have done it the best possible way and involving all of the supporters.
It's probably the thing that I'm most proud of being a part of, aside from, you know, my kids and my family, and to even a certain extent, I might even put it ahead of some of the things I do professionally. But from where we started to where we are now, I'm just proud to have been a part of it. Proud to still kind of be a part of it. Proud to and grateful to have the contacts that I've made because of Louisville City.
I'm excited to finally get into our new stadium and play some soccer and have an even better home field advantage than we already had at Slugger.
Most excited about is winning more championships and opening a brand new stadium.
One word: family. You know, a lot of people say, you know, you go make friends, but I didn't make friends. I made family. The Purple family.
You know, how it feels to be part of this fan base is just so much fun.
Louisville City means a lot to me. I care a lot about the club. I care a lot about the people at the club. I care a lot about the players, about the staff, and more than anything else, the friends that I've been able to make.
It's become a way of life. It's just a great organization from top to bottom, and there aren't many out there that are so dedicated to their fan base and so dedicated to their city, and I'm just proud and honored to be a part of it.
It's one thing about people in Louisville, in the city of Louisville, whatever they set their mind to, they can do and they can achieve. Granted, yes, you know, college sports is king and has been king around here, but now it was time for a new king, and that new king was Louisville City.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Lynn Family Stadium, home of the Louisville City Football Club. Unfortunately, under our current circumstances, as we battle the global pandemic, we at LouCity are saddened that we are not able to gather here today with you, our supporters and fans. Although we're separated by proximity, we are all together, united in our fight against the coronavirus, so that we may join together as soon as possible at this incredible soccer-specific stadium that you helped us to build. At this time, we have a special presentation to symbolize our gratitude to the fans and to let you know we are thinking of you tonight. This presentation will be followed by our LouCity Flashback stream. To begin tonight's program, proudly lift up your scarves and sing along to Ben Solly's performance of My Old Kentucky Home. Now, please rise for the singing of our national anthem, performed tonight by legendary LouCity superfan Joe Valla.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad strokes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we marched, so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rattled, the bombs bursting in air, they proved through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
LouCity would like to thank you for tuning in while you're at home practicing social distancing. Now, we hope you enjoy Flashback Match of the Night.
Here are tonight's starting lineups presented by UPSJobs.com. It's all in pink tonight. Speedy Williams has already scored for Jamaica today. He's not in the lineup. 4 changes.
Well, with the international break, missing Francis and Williams along the back line. Craig and Tosh are out, one through suspension, one for arrest. So Sohai and Pei come in. It's going to be really important that they're on the same page with Hubbard tonight.
And Paco Craig's regular season is over. 2-game suspension, 11 yellow cards. Meanwhile, Swope Park Rangers with their starting 11. Busio, well-known Sporting KC guy.
Good to see him in the lineup, and there's a lot of youngsters in this team for Swope Park Rangers tonight. So see whether they can play spoiler to LouCity's last home game at Slugger Field.
Paulo Nagamura, second season at the helm for Swope Park Rangers. Former Sporting KC player. Tonight's keys to the game, powered by Kentucky Lottery. To remind you that lottery proceeds fund college scholarship and grant programs, including every dollar of the popular Keys Scholarship Program, Matt.
Well, for the visitors, deny the width. I know that LouCity like to create things from out wide, and Swope Park will probably have 4 across the midfield to try and do that. For the home team, John Hackworth was not happy with the ball movement midweek or the tempo, so look to see LouCity get back to the way that they like to play and get on the front foot with some rhythm and tempo early in this match, and also try and move the ball quicker and create unbalances across the field.
Ownby plays back to Rasmussen. Akeem Watts has been waiting for a chance to get back in, and Akeel lost it there. And a free kick in the process.
There's Watts just nipping at the heels of Alexander there. Referee, Mr. Tattersall tonight, blowing the whistle. Just allowing the left fullback to get back to his feet.
Slipped that up the right-hand side. Vanacore Decker ran out of room. Tonight's first half brought to you by El Nopal Mexican Cuisine. Be sure to visit any of 27 Louisville area locations. La Fiesta starts here. Proud partner of Louisville City FC. And this portion of tonight's game brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. Captain tonight, Graham Smith, plays the center of defense. So send Swahi back, and Hubbard picks it up. Interesting moment here for Chris Hubbard, in that this back four has not been together once this year. No Paco Craig. Sean Tosh picked up an injury. Sean Francis with the national team. So really, Oscar Jimenez is the one where you go, oh yeah, he's usually there. Everyone else has been in and out of the lineup over the course of the year. And for Watts, well, this is only his third start.
It's very inexperienced as far as game time together, this unit. And it's going to be interesting to see how they cope with things. John Hackworth not happy with the speed of play out of the back in midweek. Looking for Taylor Pay and Suahi to play with a little bit more urgency and get the ball forward.
Watts got his arm a bit high.
Referee's letting them play. Looked like there were a couple of fouls there that no whistle was forthcoming.
Ownby, now Del Piccolo scoops it forward. Ownby's come out like his beard is on fire.
Another season with injury problems for Ownby, and much like last year, as the season wound down, he was so desperate to make an impact when he came back from injury. One thing we know, though, is that he does make an impact on the opposition scouting report, because he must be one of the first names put on.
Hubbard. Jimenez, who had a tightness in his hamstring, felt like the game at Nashville was in the right moment to play him. You lose him there, and he'd likely be done for the season. Openo went over the ankle of Busio, but it stays with Louisville in the end.
Openo went for the spectacular. And that time it was trying to sell the foul to the official. Perhaps if he had just gone down in a normal manner rather than a spectacular, he might have got the benefit of the doubt.
Ownby did enough to bring it down. Rasmussen. Pressure mounting a bit. Played away by Tyler Freeman. Turned back to Jimenez. Louisville is all over Swope Park in the opening 5 minutes.
That's what the difficulty is for Swope, is that they can't get together up the field as a unit because of the pressure from LouCity. So far the home team have found ways to connect the passes.
Popino. Watts. Stabbed down right in front of Rasmussen. 5 minutes in, and perhaps there's something here for Swope. Broke down looking for Vanacore Decker. Played aside by Pay.
Nice little work there in the back line for Swope. You see how disconnected the team is. The midfield four are just not fast enough up the pitch to help out Vanacore Decker. A little surprised that Hopino is playing on the right, Rasmussen on the left, although there was a rotation of players, and Omby through the middle at the moment for the home team.
Hopino, Rasmussen curling! That would have been some kind of goal to begin the send-off to Slugger Field.
He went for the spectacular and it almost came off. Hopino committing 3 players to him. Finds Rasmussen to his left, and Dane couldn't get that left foot curled around the ball enough to put it into the back of the net, but first shot in this match and almost ended up with a spectacular goal.
Hubbard has his palms stinged from distance, and this is in the goal! Zed Pedro, a ricochet off the clearance. This is the very definition against the run of play, but Swope Park leads.
Disbelief from the head coach. Maybe thinking back to the last time these two teams met, when a misplay in the back from the goalkeeper led to the opening goal. It was a stinging shot off of Jose Pedro. He follows up his own rebound. You see the reaction of Suwahi there. Taylor playing it back to the goalkeeper. Should have turned it outside. No communication between the back four. Well done by number 70 to take the initial shot. At least I believe it was him. It was a knuckling, stinging effort that Hubbard couldn't cleanly deal with. And then to follow up and cause havoc in the back line, and as you said, Mike, against the run of play. And there's 1-0 to the visitors.
And they've turned it over in the back line again. This time Hubbard cleans up the mess. In recent memory, I can't think of a deeper cut in terms of against the run of play than that. Turned over to Watts. Hopino. Early ball, that was cut out. Played into space. Alexander. With Swope Park, with board-certified allergists serving 16 offices throughout Louisville Metro and Southern Indiana. Relief always nearby. Family Allergy and Asthma, the official weather sponsor. Louisville City. Visit familyallergy.com. 56 degrees, no chance of rain in the forecast. Mild wind, and a perfect night for Louisville to set their season high in home attendance. And that'll be the case this evening as fans continue to file in. Clipped down by Alexander. Freeman. Smith. Dynamic ball over the back line. A bit too far.
It's a dynamic ball, a dynamic run from the right back position by Lindsay. Here's the goal. There's the stinging shot. goalkeeper unable to handle it cleanly. And then nobody paying any attention to Pedro running through the back line. Taylor Pay playing it back to the goalkeeper Hubbard, who just trying his best to clear it. Almost gets his pocket picked again.
And Matt, in truth, I'm thinking about not only the game at Swope Park where Louisville gifted Swope two goals, but beyond that, losing your theoretical top two center backs. I'm not sure that pass assuredly comes back. I really don't know who to blame, if we're being honest.
And the truth is players at this level should be able to communicate and shout man on. It just wasn't happening. And that's where the breakdown happened, and somebody has to make sure that everybody's aware of where players are. And yeah, Taylor Pay made the fatal pass, but there was no communication to him to say, hey, turn it outside.
Rad. Toward Freeman, taken by Rasmussen. Came off Busio.
Rhythm of play is a little disruptive at the moment for the home team. Too many touches on the ball. Passing and moving as they were. And the lead up to the goal. It's allowing Swope Park to have some time to close down and put some pressure on.
Menez galloping on and trying a skipping shot right at Pulskamp. Last year's with Galaxy 2. He traveled with Bournemouth as well. But a former U.S. Youth International who played against the KC Academy in a friendly and ultimately fit into their plans. All the way back down to Hubbard on the other end. John Hackworth alluded this week to a little bit of pain keeping you grounded. Felt like that 10-game unbeaten streak gave them an immense confidence they could play with anybody, but also the way it ended at Nashville, a gut punch at the end of the game from Jimmy Ockford. Can't help but think maybe the timing of that is appropriate, allowing them to build back up through their last two games and into the playoffs.
And in a funny way, it does take the pressure off a little bit to have that result. So you don't want to lose a game, but it does take the pressure off just a little bit.
Slide in by Sawahi, and John Hackworth made it quite clear. Trust me, we didn't want to lose the game.
Absolutely not. I mean, you think back to the Rowdies game, conceding the 2 goals late in that match. I mean, that would have been gut punch enough, I think. If you're able to take away 3 points from that match, LouCity right now would be in the top 4, most likely.
Freeman. Shifted back to Smith. The 18th overall pick in the Super Draft a year ago.
The difficulty for LouCity as well as all of the tiebreakers at this point go against them as far as wins in the league and then goal difference.
This is lost by Rasmussen, and Menez recovers. Ownby can put a real charge in this. Ownby, Hopino, great effort play to keep it alive. Watts.
I really thought that Ownby was going to take the shot there. Hopino did a really good job to keep possession with the home team. Swope Park's back line to string Ownby along enough, just enough to deny the shot.
Watts lofting up for Ownby. Ball deflected down and swung away from Hopino. Funny, most coaches you and I talk to, Matt, will say in the first 10 games of a year, I don't look at the standings. And then you get 20 games in, and at minimum, they'll say, all right, I've looked at them. By the time you get 30 games in, they're thinking, okay, this is where the points work out. And then you get to 33 and 34, and you're going, all right, where are the tiebreakers?
Yep.
Quarter hour in here in New York and Tampa Bay. If it were to finish level on points, would most certainly have the win tiebreaker beyond the second tiebreaker that's goal difference that would be nearly impossible to overturn by now.
Well, going into this game, it was plus 11 for Louisville. Teams above them are plus 29, I think plus 20 if I remember correctly.
Comes to Hopino. New York plus 28 and a plus 29 from Rowdies.
I got one of them right.
You did. You're underselling the Rowdies, my friend. Look at this from Swope Park. They've gotten in behind. Pedro is waiting in the middle of the box. Vanacore Decker knocked off. And cleanly at that.
Work from Pei and from Swahi to slow things down enough for Matsosa to come back and help out. A little bit of concern there that Vanacore Decker is able to get behind the back two quite that easily.
Watts. This portion of tonight's game brought to you by Republic Bank. Good step by Matsoso, and an even better one the other way by Smith. Smith right up the gut. And Busio not only facing up goal, he's running right at it. And the slip through, Vanacore Decker being strung out. Back now, shot right at the feet of Hubbard. As Tyler Freeman got way forward there.
This is a beautiful little slip pass from Busio. Vanacore Decker onside. Oh, hesitation. Allows Pei to just cut the angle down. Decker does well in the end to find Freeman, but should have taken the opportunity when it first presented itself.
Good read by Felipe Hernandez, who at the age of 21 feels like he's been with Swope Park forever. Average age of this starting lineup is 21 years old, and the aged veteran of the group is Vanacore Decker.
Credit to Swope Park. I mean, they haven't given up on the season. They haven't given up on games. Had some late goals scored. The results have not obviously gone their way. And when you're playing for pride, sometimes that can be more important or a bigger incentive than playing for points. And the turnover at the halfway line.
Swope Park has grown into this game. Hernandez, Busio! Off the post and in! Busio is that good. 2-0 Swope Park. And this season high crowd in Louisville is positively stunned.
Well, pocket picked again, this time at the halfway line. Hernandez does really well, intercepts the pass, gets his head down, commits the defender, and then understands where the support is coming from. Bucio trailing the play. Everybody had collapsed on Hernandez, and that allowed number 13 a lot of space to take that shot. Boy, did he take it well. Great celebration in the background of that low angled replay there of Alexander, number 92. Double fist pump. There's a little bit of silence behind the goal of Polskamp right now.
That is the 5th career goal in 44 career games for Gianluca Bucio. And Gianluca, a regular for Sporting Kansas City this year. Their season obviously over now. 3 goals for them this year. I spoke with Peter Vermees going all the way back to Champions League at the beginning of the year, and I was asking about Bucio and his expectations for him. So I said, hey, he's in the same place that Tyler Adams was in 2 or 3 years ago, where he's just breaking into the first team. I want to talk about a very positive comparison that you can make. They're not quite the same player, but speaks to what they think of young Gianluca Bucio.
Speaks volumes of their anticipation of his potential. Again, an error in the back on the pass out. And conversation with John Hackworth talked about how LouCity kept passing into pressure in the midweek game. And it seems like they've started to fall into that trap once more. On the ball that has been a key linchpin in this first half for Swope Park Rangers. Made a couple of really important interceptions. Just swinging back into the back line, occupying the left back position at the moment. That allows Alexander to go forward.
Hernandez added to his assist haul over the years. Vanacore Decker wanted to scissor that in. Out by Ownby. You know, you think about Sporting Kansas City on the larger platform of MLS. Finished in 11th in the Western Conference on 38 points. The Kansas City Star reporting yesterday through a report by Sam McDowell that Peter Vermees will be back next year. Speaking with one former U.S. men's national team player in recent weeks, a little bit about that. He goes, if you said you're going to win X number of Open Cups and MLS Cup and go to the playoffs every year the next 8 years, sign up for that tomorrow. Vanacore Decker plays it out, and this slid off target. So the level of Sporting Kansas City and Swope Park, who have been to the playoffs each of the last 3 years, and 2 USL Championship finals, is bordering on unparalleled at both levels. Of course, Louisville can make the argument at the USL Championship level of being at that level and a bit beyond over the years.
The hardest thing is consistency in performance and result.
Openo. It's a bit slow to react from Rad.
I wonder if LouCity would be better off with Openo playing through the middle. Now Ownby the freedom to rain down the flanks, get behind the back line and play those balls in. Openo has had some success, but Ownby just has a different gear as far as the speed is concerned from Openo.
24 minutes gone in Louisville. And Swope Park scored in the 7th minute completely against the run of play, and since then have probably been the better team for about 15 minutes now. Scored in the 20th through Bucio.
A team that was on their heels get a little bit of luck.
Louisville's lost it again. A last-ditch defensive effort will send this skying out of play. That was Sawahi going to ground.
One could say since the Pedro Gale, Swope Park have had their tails up.
Well played. There's Pedro. He came out of the Porto Academy. Never did debut with their first team. Swirling in, caught by Hubbard. Don't be left out of the brand new Lynn Family Stadium. Season tickets now officially on sale for everyone, and over 5,000 have already been sold. Go to LouCity.com or call 502-LouCity and learn more. Coming up at halftime, I'll show you what stadium's looking like these days. The grass is down, which is outstanding. Spencer already starting to chat this out with Danny Cruz. One wonders if they're going to make a tactical change early on here to try and change the dynamic. Openo, not quite sure why this is going to be with Swope Park. Feels he didn't commit a foul.
Well, the assistant on this near sideline indicated a corner kick. And as Tattersall came over, blows the whistle for the free kick. It speaks volumes. Concern that John Hackworth has right now, if indeed he does go to the bench and bring Spencer off on to the field. Interesting to see who comes off.
Right. A little slow there from Poles camp. Drew in Omby. When you think about it, Omby is your out-and-out striker, right? If you're going to play a true number 9, that's your guy. Omby perhaps a bit miscast. Omby crossing for Rasmussen.
And again by Smith.
Well, there's your change. There's your answer. Spencer just walked right up to the 4th official. Don't forget that when Louisville felt it wasn't going well against Nashville a week ago, they went to a 3-5-2. He came off the bench against Nashville. He'll be doing it again. Watts. Rasmussen. Jimenez did well to control. Matt Soso. Rasmussen. Ownby bounding in front, and Poles camp able to snag it.
Swope Park Rangers thinking Matt Sosa handled the ball. It may have looked like it in the run of play. That's why he does well with that long clearance from the goalkeeper. Possibly the best chance for the home team to get back in this game, but as yet, other than the Rasmussen shot, they haven't had anything to shout about, the home fans.
Spencer's probably getting a bit cold over there. Been waiting a couple of moments. Swope Park trying to avoid the Eastern Conference's non-existent wooden spoon. Hartford a 4-goal win in the midweek against a potentially playoff-bound Birmingham Legion. It was a total shock to the system. That moved Hartford over Swope into 17th. Now Soso. McCabe. Hernandez. Freeman. Smith. Cave Rad goes back. Holzkamp. Really relaxed break of the Louisville pressure. Now they've given it away. Watts.
Again, it's too many touches. Watts just dribbling into pressure. Had Rasmussen open 4 steps earlier and tries to force the pass in. At that point, there are 3 blue shirts in front of him. The ball was always going to be intercepted.
Back heel came off Holpino. Referee allows play to continue. Cabe Omby. Omby off to his left. Pulls Camp. Give the old college try. That'll get out.
It's a LouCity
and it'll be a corner.
Corner Bar and Restaurant.
McCabe, as he delivered the pass to Omby, just ran into a brick wall and ended up on the deck. The referee played the advantage. Swope Park closing down Omby again, denying the shooting opportunity.
Louisville City substitution.
Jimenez will have to wait on taking the corner kick as Spencer is coming in. Be Taylor Pay exiting the game. He'll be very frustrated. Disappointed with his effort tonight. Almost in a cameo. John Hackworth will be hoping that Luke Spencer can do a little bit more than this cameo, as he came on and scored in the 78th minute in midweek against Nashville.
Well, that's going to be frustrating for Pay. Substitution brought to you by MHS Global Above and Beyond. Second runner comes. Jimenez. And he's giving it away. And a flock of Swope Park Rangers make their way upfield. Hernandez overrun by Jimenez. The slide in by Spencer. He is flying out there.
Well, the trickery at the corner kick doesn't work if you don't get the service off. Taylor Pay is actually being attended to by the athletic training staff, so maybe there was a niggle there we don't know about, but great effort from Spencer, straight off the bench, immediately making an impact. But that's not the impact that you want from your center forward. You want him up the pitch, finding a way to get on the ensuing clearance, not making the effort at the beginning of the defensive third.
Alexander. Openo. Pedro. Vanacore Decker! Wow! 3-0 Swope Park. Gorgeous strike for Vanacore Decker, his 4th of the year. And this qualifies as a total stunner.
Well, this was not the script that was being written at the beginning of this game. A wonderful right-footed strike. Louisville City discombobulated again. easily dispossessed in the midfield third. The ball ends on the foot of Vanacore Decker. He makes no mistake with the right foot.
And the former Louisville Cardinal, he scored 1 goal in his 1 year at Louisville. Well, he's got a goal at Louisville now. And John Hackworth and his side are stunned. Vanacore Decker. Let's say this, John Hackworth felt like, as Vanacore Decker crosses and nobody home, the drop-off against Nashville with a heavy rotation for a wide swath of reasons was unacceptable. And I'm not sure anything today has led him to believe anything else. Rasmussen, Holpino, leaves it off, shot ripped in! Matsoso! Louisville grabs one back. And this goal-scoring binge for Napo Matsoso continues.
Finally, something for the home fans to cheer about. This time it was Swope Park Rangers that get dispossessed. Alach with his only mistake so far this game, and it's a dear one. Spencer gets it to Rasmussen. Rasmussen to Holpino. Holpino tees it up for Matsosa. He makes no mistake with the Kentucky Lottery goal. The goal is presented by Kentucky Lottery, fueling imagination, funding education, the Kentucky Lottery.
Can you believe it? 4 goals in this game thus far. And a couple of them have been bangers. The first one was anything but.
Literally and figuratively. The last 3 have been something pretty special. I tell you what, the goal of the week, they could have all 3 of those in there. It'll take something special. It still feels, I mean, I have to say, it feels like there are more goals in this game.
Yeah. There's not a soul watching this game right now who would take that bet. No goals the rest of the way. This portion of tonight's game brought to you by Sullivan University. Well, they're going to send this old barn out right. There'll still be baseball at Slugger Field, but this is the end of the soccer playing days, barring a run here at the end. Cross off the top of the netting. Louisville would need to get at least 4 points out of the last 2 games. And then they're looking at results from Tampa Bay and New York that would need to go their way to jump into 4th. So almost assuredly, this is the end of the line at Slugger Field. Spoke with John Hackworth about the memories that he had at the stadium here. The penalties against New York Red Bulls before his time. Wasn't there when they played their first game here, but said that magical goal by Cameron Lancaster to break the record, the 5-1 win to win the Eastern Conference against Red Bulls 2 last year. And there have been some really special moments here. And of course, the Cameron Lancaster goal against Swope Park that separated the 2 teams in the 2017 final. Free kick.
Good refereeing there. Datasol trying to see if there was going to be advantage to be played. Makes the decision that it's not. Oscar Jimenez trying to stay out, trying to allow Ombi space to work. So important for a supporting player to understand when to continue the run into the area where the player on the ball is, and when to hold off that advancement, because essentially all you're doing then is taking extra defenders into the space. Jimenez just curtailing his run for a moment. Almost got on the end of the pass from Ownby. Referee blowing the whistle for the free kick.
Service whipped across, bouncing all the way through. Swahi, 3-2. And there were more goals in this game.
The perfect delivery on the service from the free kick. You start it at the corner of the 6, you bend it into the far post. The defenders can't make the play. The attacking players can. And there's the central defender, Sawai, at the back post. This is a difficult skill. He has to get up high and deliver the blow down low to put the ball into the back of the net. He did it really well.
And don't look now, Alexi Swahi's first of the year, 4th of his professional career. And that goal presented by the Kentucky Lottery. Fueling imagination, funding education, the Kentucky Lottery. Well, Louisville going to 3 in the back. Of course, it's one of the backs who scores off that set piece, but it felt like they got a similar reaction against Nashville. Now, if you have Paco Craig and you have Sean Tosh, I don't know that the game unfolds this way, but with those two missing, Tosh picking up a knock against Nashville, and well, Craig out for the rest of the year on yellow card accumulation suspension. John Ackworth had to do a little shuffling here.
To shuffle the deck. And
oh, come on, not another one. Ownby, hoping, no! Yes! 3-3. Come on! Unreal.
Well, the Kentucky Lottery, it's fueling education, it's fueling imagination, and it's fueling goals at Slugger Field. Yet another wonderful finish, this time from Hopeno. We've been treated to some special ones tonight. Polskamp, no chance. Again, good rhythmic ball movement by the home team. Keeps the ball alive, out to Hopeno, and he delivers the blow. He's one of those players that creates so many chances.
Rasmussen! Oh, it's over the top.
Oh, Matt Sosa's missing the script now.
Matt, I'm sorry, but you got the order wrong. It's the goal presented by Kentucky Lottery.
And you're reading it.
Fueling imagination, funding education, the Kentucky Lottery, nearly a 4th. Where in the world was this in 2007? One goal, they waited till the 87th minute, and they do the part 2 of this, and it's 6 goals and a half.
Sending the old field out on a barn burner. We're only in the first half. Can the second live up to it?
Polskamp. Well, it's a push from Hopeno, enough to draw the foul. And the fans are into it.
Seems so innocuous as the ball was passed back to Polskamp. Referee blows the whistle. Stops the excitement for a moment.
Swope has given up the 15th most goals this year in the Eastern Conference. They've now given up 73. They're scoring, it's in the middle third, the bottom of the middle third, but they've scored some goals over the course of this year.
John Hackworth doesn't understand why the whistle was blown. I have to say I'm in agreement with the head coach.
If only because if you thought that was a foul, at minimum, just let it play out because the goalkeeper already has the ball, right?
Well, that, and I mean, there'd be an argument for a card if it was a foul.
Hopeno. Popino pushed away, stepped over the ball. He looks back to the referee longingly and unsatisfied.
Right decision, no foul there. Swope Park has got check time now for the youngsters of the visiting team. You're up 3-0 and you think that everything's going to be coming up roses and on the way to a victory. But there is a reason why the City have won the championship a couple of times.
Well, here's the upset of the day. After 6 goals, there is 1 minute of Sullivan University stoppage time, and a sub for that matter.
You would think that there would be a little bit more stoppage time. Lucio is going to be going into the book for that tug of the shirt on Matt Sosa.
This place has been whipped into a frenzy for the last 20 minutes. Lucio goes into the book. It's his first yellow of the year with Swope Park. Four Roses Bourbon yellow card. Louisville scored 3 times in less than 7 minutes to equalize. Flicked across by Magnus Rasmussen. Coming up at halftime, Matt tries to make heads or tails of this first half, and you look at the new venue that'll replace Slugger Field next year. This is Louisville's Arrowhead Stadium, as it might be. There's the halftime whistle. Matt, what in the world did we just watch?
We watched some really hard work on the first goal, some really spectacular work on the ensuing 5 goals. Tremendous competitive effort from both teams. The game flipped on its head when the home team were on the front foot, and then hard work from Pedro to get the rebound into the back of the net, and 3-0 and then 3-3. It's been a game of 2 halves in the first 45 minutes.
Here's our VisionWorks what to look for as we head into the second half of play, Matt.
Well, the important thing for LouCity is make sure they continue to play with tempo. When they do that, they're effective. They get the ball forward and they put pressure on Swope Park. For the visitors, they've got to stay together. When they're compact, they're more effective. They get the pitch together. They make errors, or force errors, I should say, by LouCity FC. And then the other thing is they've got to stay together. They've got to pull together. They're under a lot of pressure. LouCity want to find a way to get the 3 points, and Swope Park are playing for pride. You've got to make sure that after conceding 3 goals, they pull together and stay together as a unit to see this one out.
Pointing toward the Purple family, one final half potentially at Slugger Field. Underway, it's 3-3 between Louisville City and Swope Park Rangers. They played an incredible game in Kansas City earlier this year. Back and forth, early goalkeeping errors from Louisville. And I would be remiss not to mention that John Hackworth and I spoke at length about that game, but in large part about the goalkeeper in that game. Louisville was down to their 4th or 5th choice, and he brought in an old friend of his, an undersized goalkeeper who had great numbers at Creighton in Brian Holt. He had him in Philadelphia, brought him along in Harrisburg, thought so highly of him, and well, difficult moment for him. Polskamp will collect this, and he kind of goes, I think a lot of people are going to look at Louisville City and his time there and say that's all there is to it. But you know, John could not have spoken more highly of him. Of course, he's happy to have Chris Hubbard back. Hubbard was injured at the time as well and came back the following game.
And that's the problem with the goalkeeper position, is that you are the last line of defense, and Holt will be remembered for a couple of errors in that game, but he also made some saves as well. And everybody has to remember, for the goalkeeper to make a mistake, the 10 players in front of him has to have done something wrong. for the opposition to get the opportunity on frame, and often that goes unconsidered by the fans.
This portion of tonight's game brought to you by Luna Azul Tequila, the official tequila of LouCity. I don't know that Swope Park has exactly been baffled by it, but Louisville switched to a 3-back in this first half. We talk with some coaches who describe decisions like that as brave. I think making that decision 30 minutes, 25 minutes into the game, that your game plan didn't work and you got to scrap it, bring in Luke Spencer, drop Taylor Pay, switch to a 3-back. I think brave is the right way to describe it.
Brave, perhaps necessary. 2-0 down at the time. Something had to change, something had to give.
This sliced across the face of Poles camping out.
I think the shape that LouCity have now is better. We've got 4 across the midfield, some more balance there. Allows LouCity to counter the width that Swope Park have with their 4-1-4-1 lineup.
And of course, Luke Spencer is the guy who comes in, and first thing he does is track back 30 yards and win the ball in the defensive half.
And I said at the time, it's not where you want him to be making an impact on the game, but the important thing is his teammates at the low ebb there see something positive happen.
Ownby, it's 2-on-1. Ownby try to get the cross away. Could not connect.
Sometimes he's too unselfish. I thought he had the angle for the shot. Only trying to slip it through to Hopeno. They shake hands. There's Spencer again delivering the ball on the little flick to Ownby. Ownby going perhaps away from goal. Didn't feel like he could turn his hips through to get the shot on target. Knew that Hopeno was there or thereabouts. Good work by the Swope Park defense to block that one for the throw-in. Player down, injured though for the visitors.
He may have taken some studs there into the ankle. He is grimacing right now as a little water gets sprayed into the sock.
It's one of those, does not feel good. Decker, I believe, was on his haunches.
Nagamura following Mark Dos Santos, Nikola Popovic, 2 giant personalities. Had a team that was one of the final 2 in the East to get a victory, them and Hartford. Practically been bound together at the hip all year long. Vanacore Decker quickly returns. Taken by Spencer. He is overrun, play on. Matsoso played it ahead. Shot is wide. It looked like Rasmussen was going to get in on the act.
Well, credit to Mr. Tassel to let this one play. Well done for Spencer to get the ball. Matsoso springs on it. And Rasmussen on the half turn. I still can't believe that ball didn't go in. Even on the replay, it looks like it went into the back of the net. And it hits the support structure of the goal behind the net and then ruffles the pink netting that we have tonight for the breast cancer awareness game.
You know, we talk about Louisville and the end of Slugger Field. Do think that there's something to be said about the end of Swope Park Rangers as a moniker. Spencer. Ownby. Shoved off the ball. Ownby trying to continue play. Ownby curling around. It falls in front and gets cleared away from the 6. Jimenez sends it back the other way. It was Holpino there at the byline that was complicating things and ultimately kept it in alongside Omby.
It's good work from Rad to force Omby wide. Never giving up on the plate. Holpino involved as well. Rasmussen just overruns the ball. And Jimenez decides to clear it out of danger at the last moment instead of shooting it on target. He'll be frustrated with that effort. Just thinking it's crazy. The one name that we haven't really mentioned in this match is Del Piccolo.
Funny how that works. Omby. Here's the captain. Second start back after 8-week spell out. McCabe met by Freeman. And it's a throw for Swope Park. To go one step further, on September the 30th, Sporting Kansas City Sporting Club, which oversees the full organization, announced that USL Championship side next year will be called Sporting Kansas City 2. Peter Vermees speaking in that press release saying Sporting KC2, guided by long-term goals of Sporting's MLS team, providing a bridge to the professional level for the Sporting Kansas City Academy. Of course, the sprinkling of players they bring in elsewhere, often young. There's a former Porto Academy guy on the field on this night. Some guys who came through the collegiate ranks. Spencer. Omby must! Deflects in! From 3 goals down to 1 up, 4-3 Louisville.
The pressure pays dividends again. The turnover, and then on the front foot of the home team. You make your own luck, and Omby a little bit fortunate with the bounce. There was the turnover, Holpino forcing it, gets it to Rasmussen. Spencer then delivers the ball to Omby. Across the body, defenders commit. Holzkamp could not recover to claw that one out from his net. It goes into the back of the net, came off of Rad. Beautiful run of play again by Louisville City to find a way to go ahead in this match.
That goal presented by Kentucky Lottery, fueling imagination, funding education. Kentucky Lottery. Lucio. How quick is their response here from Swope? Pedro taken away by Matsoso, turned over. Well, it's a good save by Hubbard. It didn't matter. There's a foul. Del Piccolo got dumped.
Shake of the head from John Hackworth as he goes to the bench. Sitting down. Frustrated about the foul. With good work there. Collision with Del Piccolo as the captain was trying to clear things up. John Hackworth just looking at the fourth official and saying, "Where's the card?"
Anywho, to go one step further, the SPR Believe concept and playing at Swope Park, one of the great names in this league, au revoir. Dumped over the top, Vanacore Decker laying it in front, chance to finish, sliding save, Hubbard. There's no time for anything in this game. It's a pinball machine.
Well, this is a wonderful save. Vanacore Decker staying onside, delivers the ball in. Matsosa is the player that deflects it. Hernandez running across the face of the goalkeeper. And Hubbard with the hockey-style kick save there. Keeping his feet moving, sliding to his near post to deflect that one out. Pure footwork there from the goalkeeper.
Lindsay, Hernandez. Ball for Hernandez taken away by Jimenez. Spencer tries to face up. He goes down. Play continues.
Good use of the body there from Rad to shoulder Spencer off of the ball.
Lucio putting one off Spencer's chin inadvertently. This will come all the way back. City fans can get their team merchandise, including the October scarf of the month, just in time. Kits, hats, flags, and more. LouisvilleCityFC.com. Any home game or at our permanent location, 4th Street Live. Sport some gear to support your team.
If they'll be putting these unis out for sale. White and pink, pretty snazzy.
Hope so. Spencer holding things up. Holmby. Cutting the cross, diving effort by Smith. And Matsoso goes down, free kick.
Well, there was definitely contact from Lindsay, but I think Matsoso was already on his way to the turf. Great work from the LouCity midfielder to get the ball alive. Cuts inside, he's already lost his balance. It's actually Pedro that makes the contact. Trailing from behind, so you can see why the foul was given, but I think perhaps LouCity are a little fortunate on this occasion. Similar position for the service of the second goal. This free kick is, although see at the other end of the field. It's a little closer in. Surprised to see McCabe put this one on frame.
Polskamp doesn't seem like he'd be surprised either. Starting to shade away. McCabe lifting. Holmby goes into Vanacore. Decker flicked on towards Sawahi. Del Piccolo.
This is the one that really bugs me, is that the ball has to come out of the penalty area off of the goal kick, and yet you get a mulligan. For me, the ball should go to the opposition on an indirect free kick. And if you can't get it...
From where?
From where the ball was touched. I mean, if you can't get this right, you should not be allowed to have another go at it. Hit the ball off, out of bounds off the tee, take your medicine, and drop it for 3.
There's a new rule here. All right, Pedro. Pedro on the cutback. Pedro won't stop. Pedro goes down, and it was all ball. Holmby flies back.
Good job by the official there, making it clear the decision and why the decision was made. A question mark can be had by the players. Lindsay with the opportunity on the clever back heel there from Pedro.
Corner.
Back heel just froze Holmby and Jimenez for a moment. Unable to get the service across into the danger area was Lindsay.
Busio. That bounced all the way through. And it's going to be a yellow card. And yes, Alec the Belgium is 7th of the year.
So 4 roses bourbon yellow card for his trouble. But this was a tactical foul from the corner kick. City were going forward. As Hopino is dragged to the ground. Here is Pedro going to the ground. Piccolo reaching in. Perhaps some contact. I don't think so. Captain pulling out of the challenge. Right decision there, I think, from Mr. Tattersall.
It's worth noting, because we're at card counting time of the year, No players that are going to feature in this game are a yellow card away from a suspension. So no one's going to get taken out of the final game of the year based on tonight. Ownby. Further still. Comes to Poles Camp, and this portion of tonight's game brought to you by Game On Mouth Guards. Spencer.
Swope Park struggling to get the ball forward and connect some passes. LouCity continuing to put the pressure on, making it so difficult for the visitors to break the pressure and get up the pitch together. Alec comes off.
And on comes Juan Kuzain Juan Kamal. Malaysian Messi, as he was called amongst the St. Louis Scott Gallagher Academy kids back in the day. Sub brought to you by MHS Global.
Swope Park substitution. In the game, number 75, Kuzain. Using number 98, Oliver.
They put him down as just Kuzain on the lineup card.
I'm glad. You know how I struggle.
There's contact there, but referee doesn't blow. That would be a potential penalty based on which side of the box that came on. McCabe, Popino tried to let it run on.
Great recovery from Lindsay on this near sideline, getting back quickly to his right back position. Hustling back to keep the shape defensively for Swope Park. Coach will appreciate that type of work rate. See how deep though Swope Park are playing. It's so difficult to get up in support of Vanacore Decker. This is where you have to start pushing up together as a team as LouCity start playing the ball backward.
All right, I'll say this, June the 2nd, a new rule came into effect. Goal kick is no longer required to leave the penalty area before a teammate touches the ball. It is immediately in play as soon as the goalkeeper touches it, but different leagues have put it in play at different times. So with that happening in June, USL Championship among those who have not adopted it yet. There you go. Well, and hey, there's a rule for that.
They got rid of the mulligan, that's good.
Yeah. And there should be punishment, but an indirect free kick seems a little strong. Jimenez. And it's a foul from Oscar Jimenez.
Good work by both players, Jimenez and Lindsay. Lindsay getting goal side. Good recovery. There's the player getting goal side, forcing the error from Oscar Jimenez. Work rate continues from Lindsay. If I could just talk my local golf course to get rid of the out of bounds on the third hole, I'd be good.
Only the third? Hernandez. I have no right to talk. Matt might have a handicap. There aren't numbers big enough to get to my handicap. Visit LouCity.com. Check out the virtual stadium tour. We showed it to you at halftime. You can scope out the view from every seat in the brand new Lynn Family Stadium before calling 502 LouCity to get your season tickets. Cross lifted and handled. Got away from Pedro. Lindsay. Pedro for Hernandez.
Good job there from Suwahi, understanding where Zane had run to. Gets into the passing lane, clears the danger. Substitute trying to get forward into the attacking third, make something happen. See Nagamura just encouraging his team forward, knowing that there's still something in this match for them. A lot of time left.
Huh. 13 minutes without a goal. Who'd have thunk? Big collision there in midfield. Ownby. Plenty of time, but is there another goal in this game, Matt?
I hope so.
Mike Watts, Matt Stubbington, home finale in Louisville City. We'll close out at Memphis next Saturday. It's unclear what'll still be on the line at that point. For Swope Park Rangers, one more game at Indy midweek, and then their season ends a few days earlier than most others. Swope Park saw their 3-year playoff streak end. A year in which their second half surge wasn't enough to overcome their slow start. They have picked up 10 points in their last 6 games, but it came after they were already eliminated from playoff contention.
That also tells you how dangerous an opponent they are, and we've seen it tonight. They're a team that are playing for pride. They're a team with something to prove, and a team that they just don't give up.
I mean, talking with John Hackworth about Hartford over the course of this year, he goes, they're a scary team. They had to go gut out a win at Hartford about a month ago during that 10-game unbeaten streak. A lot of people probably penciled that in as a W. Not that easy.
A couple of bounces off of the woodwork different, and Hartford might still be in the playoff picture.
Well, a couple. A few.
A few, but I mean, they've had their bad luck, that's for sure.
No doubt. Swope can make the same argument. Of course, they did swipe 3 points off Louisville earlier this year, back in May. Feels like eons ago.
I can't believe that we're coming to the close of the season.
Ownby trying to keep it in, knocked out by Rad. They didn't play it all a year ago. This is 20th start.
It's a LouCity corner.
19-year-old from Durham, North Carolina, or an 18-year-old. He's had a nice season for Swope Park. Jimenez. Matt Soso, whose goal started to turn the tide in this game. Covered by Alexander. Slide by Rasmussen off the mark, and here comes Swope Park. Hernandez stripped away by Ownby. Louisville tonight notably without Tosh and Craig. Francis and Williams are with Jamaica, as Jamaica, that's a goal from Speedy in CONCACAF Nations League this evening. Rasmussen make it 5.
Calmness personified. Rasmussen in the box. Confident in his technique. A little bit fortunate. He gets the deflection to go his way. But that's the type of night it is for LouCity. It comes off Smith. Falls kindly for Rasmussen. I thought he was going to shoot it first time, but no, he commits the goalkeeper. Slips it under the despairing dive of Polskamp. For another goal that is presented by Kentucky Lottery, fueling imagination, funding education, the Kentucky Lottery. Rasmussen's 12th of the season.
Second time this year that Louisville has scored 5 goals at home. Yellow card comes out. Hernandez into the book. Scored 5 against Atlanta United 2. Beg your pardon, third time. They scored 5 against Red Bull 2.
And is that Four Roses bourbon foul just going through the back of Matt Sosa. The referee thought for a moment about playing the advantage. Decides not to, as Matt Sosa is going to get some attention from the athletic training staff. Hernandez has had a really good night. Here's the foul. And Pedro not paying attention to where Matt Sosa was. He had eyes only for the ball. Some contact with the knee to the back of Matt Sosa's head. Unfortunate collision there. And Sosa is up. Hernandez, he was the instigator in the second goal that was so beautifully finished by Busio, winning the ball at the halfway line and then just head down, business-like, getting into the attacking third and cutting it back beautifully for Busio to finish with aplomb.
And fans, a reminder, this LouCity's final regular season home game, Slugger Field. Playoff dates and pairings be finalized the Sunday next week as the final games are played. Visit LouCity.com or call 502-LouCity for any potential home playoff dates. For being entirely honest, Matt, the best scenario for Louisville is 4th. But barring that, as a LouCity fan, you're kind of hoping they don't get another home game unless the seeds fall that way later in the playoffs. Does that mean you're playing in the play-in round? That's an extra game on Wednesday. And that's a lot on the legs. Even if you want to have one more party at Slugger Field, it's a big ask.
The players, the coaching staff, and the fans alike will give that party a miss if it means that the players can get that extra bit of rest. The skill there from Hernandez.
Ball slid across, and this time Sawahi goes to ground and knocks it free.
Too many players there for Swope getting in the way to isolate Lindsay on that right side. Force the ball backward, that relieves the pressure. LouCity can try and get it going forward. Able to do so. Alexander, we haven't talked about him going forward at all. Doing well to dispossess Hopino there for a moment.
To put this game in perspective, this is the 9th time in franchise history the team has scored 5 or more goals in a game. They've done it 7 times at home. And they have scored 6 in a game 3 times. Blast from distance. Looked aside. Spencer, Matsoso. Rasmussen plays it ahead, back toward Matsoso, deflecting around, gets hooked away from the goal mouth. Corner coming.
Well, Matsoso was going to get a second. It was all a little untidy, but it was all commitment from LouCity. And again, the bounces go on the way of the home team, and Polskap must have been panicked that that one was going to go into the back of the net, this time from his own player as it bounced off of Hussein and off of Smith.
Short corner. Played along Sawahi, and there's number 6. Rasmussen adds another. And it's a record-setting night at Slugger Field.
Again, the short corner kick. Ball goes out to the beginning of the attacking third. Seemed like the set piece had been wasted. Watts delivers it into the back post. Sawahi across the face of goal. 4 LouCity players are crashing the net, and it's Rasmussen that's able to get on the end of it. Thought the goalkeeper had got a touch, but he didn't. Rasmussen got the important one into the back of the net.
That goal presented by the Kentucky Lottery, fueling imagination, funding education, the Kentucky Lottery. Second of the night, 13th of the year. I'm not sure that comeback player of the year is something that's talked about in the USL Championship. It's something they should probably look at for Rasmussen. Lepley on for Freeman. Sub brought to you by MHS Global. Curled service gets smashed out by Watts. A fan said to Twitter, vote for tonight's Dr. Mark Lynn and Associates VisionWorks Man of the Match. Poll open for the next 10 minutes. You can vote now at twitter.com/LouCityFC.
Good luck with that decision.
Service knocked across and headed out of play by Rad. Jake Davis will come on as the final sub for Swope Park. Sub brought to you by MHS Global. Hernandez comes off.
Positive contribution tonight by Hernandez.
Slipped ahead, Hopino. Well, he feels like he's been unjustly. Well, this is not for the play on the field. This is for simply talking too much to the referee. Hopino feels like he's been wronged 3 or 4 times in this game. He'll go into the book.
Your team has scored 6 unanswered. You've also got one of the goals. I understand you're frustrated, but at this point you're 6-3 up. You don't need to start throwing your toys out the pram. Quite rightly goes into the book. You can't do that.
This portion of tonight's game brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. Pedro! Steered aside by Hubbard. Zé Pedro scored the lone, hard-working, blue-collar, some might call ugly goal of the game, and he almost had the best.
It's a wonderful save from Hubbard. Again, an opportunistic strike, testing the goalkeeper.
Davis goes into it, free kick Louisville. Couple changes coming for Louisville here down the stretch. As they'll explore the back end of their bench. George Davis will come on. Brian Omby is done. Sub brought to you by MHS Global, above and beyond. And on comes Ballard. That's enough for Hopino. Sub, you guessed it, brought to you by MHS Global, above and beyond. For Ballard, it is his second appearance of the season. And his 35th in a LouCity uniform after a rookie year where he scored 3 goals, appeared 29 times. Injuries have cut the last 2 seasons far too short.
A little bit of frustration for Hopino coming out. Thought he had a goal to give in this second half. See Davis the fourth and Ballard getting into the action.
Lucio looked to slip through. 12,188 for the final home game potentially at Slugger Field. It is a season high.
Card coming for Captain Del Piccolo. Exactly sure for what, but may have been that the captain talked himself into that one.
Del Piccolo's 3rd this year. No, this is his 6th pro club. Four Roses Bourbon presenting that yellow. And talking with him last year before the USL Championship final about what he remembered from his MVP performance against Swope Park in 2017. Said, hey, this is the first time I've really won anything of this magnitude. So many of his friends have been in the crowd over the years. Ballard, another Louisville kid. Oh, he put it in! Richard Ballard! The extra point is good! And the Louisville native may well shut the doors on this place. A club record 7 goals in the game. Their most in a league match ever.
Look at that touch from McCabe. The long diagonal ball, delivers it onto the foot of Ballard. Rasmussen wants the hat trick. Ballard is having none of it. Commits the defender Smith, thumps the ball with the right leg, through the goalkeeper and into the back of the net.
He's played 10 minutes all year. That's his first goal. It's presented by Kentucky Lottery, fueling imagination, funding education. Kentucky Lottery. Swope Park led this game in the 34th minute, 3-0. And they have conceded 7 in the last hour.
Crazy night of soccer tonight. Wonderful, wonderful entertainment. Some of the goals have been absolutely spectacular. The touch there from McCabe was sublime to just deliver that onto the foot of Ballard. And it wasn't his first touch of the game, it was his 3rd or 4th that he put into the back of the net. But John Hackworth looks like an absolute genius making that change.
Alexander being ushered off by the referee. There's some kind of issue there. Swope's used all their subs. You know, Matt, I'll say this about Swope Park. At no point did I feel like they abandoned playing in favor of simply getting out of here without any more damage. I give them, I think, credit. I think it's deserved. And they did lead this game 3-0. For about half an hour, they looked the better team. Most goals in a game in a USL Championship match in Louisville's 5-year history.
When you look at Swope Park, the first 7 minutes of the game, they could have just folded up their tents and gone home. It was all LouCity at that point. And then Pedro, with his hard work, following up the rebound of his own shot, gets the ball in the back of the net. And then a couple of special moments, one off the foot of Lucio and then the other one of Vanacore Decker, and everybody in the crowd thought that it was going to be a down night for the home team, and the air was sucked out of the stadium. Then all of a sudden, Luke Spencer comes in. The tactical lineup was shifted. Ever since then, it pretty much has been all LouCity. You're right, Swope Park has never given up.
There can't be another, can there? Spencer Davis off the base of the crossbar, and it's a goal. Number 8, George Davis IV. Even he can't believe it. A game that literally defies all logic. Gosh, did the Kentucky Lottery get their money today. That goal presented by Kentucky Lottery, fueling imagination, funding education, Kentucky Lottery.
Spencer involved again, gets the pass from Ballard. Ball played forward on the slip ball from number 23. Great strength from Spencer. At that point, George Davis IV is wondering, how did I miss that with all the goals that have been scored this game? He gets his 3rd of the year. Credit to the official on the far sideline, being Johnny on the spot and making sure that the ball did cross the line.
Can you believe Louisville went for 2? Well, the wheels fell off for Swope Park in this game. It's a regrettable beginning to the final road swing of their season, here in which it just never seemed to go right. And they continue to put good players into MLS. The pipeline is very much alive. But this one's going to sting a bit as they bus up to Indianapolis for the final game of their season.
Really, this game encapsulates 2019 for them. A game in which lots of things went right. The effort was there, but the luck was not. They couldn't find a way to hold the advantage, and now they'll be feeling that the referee's whistle is going against them every time it's blown as well.
The clock is stopped at 90 minutes. Official time is being kept on the field.
2 minutes of a Slovan University stoppage time.
Unbelievable with all the goals, and it's only 2 minutes in the second half.
By the way, the club record is 9 goals. It was against the Tartan Devils in the first round of the Open Cup.
Conclusion of tonight's game.
They still have time. The way this match has gone, of course not with passes like that from Jimenez. Still Swope look to go forward.
Vanacore Decker. Referee thought about it. Vanacore Decker probably in any other scenario gets a little more consideration there.
Presented by West Brothers.
Hubbard waves everybody forward.
Final seconds now. Goodbye, Slugger Field. Louisville scores 8 unanswered. 8-3 winners against Swope Park in what appears to be their Slugger Field finale. Eight goals scored tonight, a USL Championship single-game club record for Louisville City. All after the 35th minute when they were down 3-0.
It was a game where it was all Swope Park for the first 30 minutes or so. And credit with John Hackworth. He went to his bench. He brought this man in. He changed the tactical lineup. And Luke Spencer, with his hard work, was involved in many of the goals tonight for the home team. Wins the man of the match tonight.
City fans can enter to win a limited edition breast cancer awareness jersey before they go on sale. Details, LouCity.com/contests. Pink jerseys, special night at Slugger Field. They'll lock the doors potentially for good for LouCity soccer at Slugger Field and move across the interstate to the sparkling Lynn Family Stadium next year. 8-3 the final. Post-game coming up next.
On this day, we were set to open this beautiful stadium and to celebrate with the biggest party that Louisvillians could throw and celebrate all of the success of our club. Unfortunately, because of COVID-19, we're not able to do that. But we hope that we gave you just a glimpse of what the future holds for all of us in this building. It's truly going to be spectacular. Stay safe, LouCity family. We'll see you soon.